Hi, for those of you that don't know me, my name's Tash. Today I am sitting down with my soul sister, Chloe Labrador, and we are talking all things Reiki and human design. This is in anticipation for our Inner Compass retreat, which is in Byron Bay in February next year. We are so excited. If you are interested in Reiki or human design, this is going to be a great video for you to watch, especially if you are interested in joining us on the retreat, because it's going to give you insights into how these modalities have helped us in our lives and on our journeys. So without further ado, I hope you enjoy. Chloe and I have been doing yoga for quite some time. We met through yoga and we're both yoga teachers. How long have you been teaching for?
I've been teaching since 2018.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
I don't know what year I started. It must be, what are we? 2023. It would be 2020.
Yeah.
The end of 2020 I started teaching. Yeah.
It's been so cool to develop that for the last few years.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then from teaching, I was quite interested in energy always, and I decided to do a Reiki training, and the way that it's transformed my life has been amazing, and the things that I've been able to move through energetically, there's no way that I would have been able to move through things so gracefully otherwise. And I see how much this work impacts the clients that I have, and it's really inspiring to see people healing themselves through this modality. And then connecting with Chloe over human design, I've started to incorporate a little bit of this into my life and then give her a little bit of Reiki as well. And it's been like this give take between us, and we've found just how amazing it's been to incorporate both of these into our yogic lifestyles.
Yeah, totally. And it's amazing when you start to look at these modalities such as human design and Reiki and see how much they actually correlate into the yogic world. Like, of course, like around the energy, around the energetics of it all. Like, how has human design changed your life?
So I found out about human design through Chloe. I'd heard about it, but I'd never really paid any attention. And then all of a sudden I just kept hearing about it, and Chloe said that she was offering readings. So I did a reading with you. And then since that reading, there was like a few key things that you told me. One of them was that I, as a projector, am meant to wait for the invitation, which is something that I've not really done in the past. I've always been pushing and trying to go out and grab things because that's kind of what we're taught to do. If you want something, go out and get it. And so I was pushing for all of these things, and then I would get so frustrated because it would never work out, because I'm meant to be waiting for the invitation.
Yeah.
And I'm meant to be waiting for the things to come to me. So knowing that I'm meant to wait now allows me to kind of take a back seat and not push so hard and then be disappointed when things don't work out.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, knowing that I don't have infinite energy to just exert all day long, that I'm not meant to work a 9 to 5 for my energy type, because that was really validating. And now I know when I am going about my day or I'm doing something on Canva, as soon as I start to get frustrated or I feel like I'm getting nowhere, I go and I have a nap, or I go to the beach and I lay down for half an hour, and then I come back and I can keep going. Whereas in the past, I would just push through because I didn't want to be lazy, because I felt like if I went and had a break, it's lazy and I'm not doing the work that I should be doing, when really now when I take the breaks, I'm so much more efficient. I get so much more done.
Yeah.
I can come back to things with like fresh eyes.
Definitely.
And that's been a game changer for my business. And a lot of people don't get it.
And I think, like, especially as a generator, when, you know, this whole idea of having to wait for the invitation or wait for the opportunity, like, I loved some of the language that's been used where it's like turning it into like a power play. Like, we are empowered or have the luxury of allowing life to come to us while we're experiencing life, and while we're getting stuck into things that either light us up or like bring you joy that you would explore anyways.
Yeah.
So I think it's
taking aligned action as well. Yeah. When you're waiting, you're not just sitting around like on the couch like, oh, I can't wait for something to come to me.
Yeah.
You're doing the things that light you up. You're doing the things that feel in alignment with you. And then the more that you're in alignment, the more the things come.
Yeah. Right? It's like the whole energy flow. And I think that's what's changed my world as a generator, because all my life I've been conditioned to be living as a manifestor. You know, I think a lot of us have been conditioned to be living in a way where it's like you go out and you make the opportunities happen. You go out and you work the 9 to 5, or you go to school full time, and like working hard equals success. And I feel like that sort of conditioning has made a lot of us like either frustrated and stuck, or burnt out and fried and bitter. And human design has given me freedom, really, to just get stuck in the things that, not get stuck, but explore the things that feel good in my body and that make me expand, and do more of that. And that in itself attracts more opportunities for me to keep exploring the things that make me expand, and say no to the things that make me contract. So human design in itself is an experiment, so you can see how you respond to things like that don't feel aligned to you, and see how that works out. So when I reflect over decisions that I've made in the past out of force, or like out of obligation or out of duty, where I've been left feeling frustrated, depleted, and almost my energy's been taken advantage of, because as a generator, I'm able to work 9 to 5s without getting burnt out. And I feel like oftentimes, for many people in general, but that would be taken advantage of in certain situations. So just knowing what feels good and expansive, and how to respond to those things that feel expansive, and how to respond to things that feel very contractive and ick, that's given me a lot of freedom to understand how my energy as a generator flows. And ultimately that benefits my rest. Like, you have to take a lot of naps. I have to use up all the energy in my sacral by responding to things in my exterior, in my external. And when I do that, at the end of the day, I get an amazing rest. So just like being so self-aware. And I feel like that's just given me a lot of power. And at the end of the day, it gives you tools that you can use to empower yourself and live your life in a way that feels in alignment. Yeah, and in flow. And not saying that you're never going to experience, roadblocks. But, I mean, it helps you sort of navigate life in a little bit more ease, and in a way of little resistance, minimal resistance. Totally. The way human design has changed my life is it's allowed me to observe the way in which I'm meant to engage with my career, my relationships, my rest, the way I communicate, in a way that's most aligned with my own energy. The minute I found out that I was a generator, and that I was not designed to force life to happen or to force opportunities to happen, and I had the luxury to take sort of the backseat and allow opportunities to flow to me, the more I was able to sort of excel in any field that I was in. So just an example, in the past, like I worked in the coffee industry. I was a barista for many years, and I was like, through force, really trying to claw my way up to being a coffee roaster. And I felt like a lot of that was coming from a place of force in my body. And the minute that I found out that I was a generator, and that I had the luxury to like sort of wait, and as long as I was doing something that felt good and that I enjoyed, and let go. And if the opportunity to become a coffee roaster came to me, then great. If not, then it's not aligned or the timing's not right. That the minute I sort of leaned into that principle, the next day I had a job offer as a coffee roaster. Literally the next day. The minute I was able to sort of surrender to my own energetic flow was the day I was offered like my dream job or my dream role in the area that I was in. So that was the first experience I had with experimenting with my human design, using my strategy which is waiting to respond to whatever in my exterior, and then using my authority to see what feels most expansive in my sacral, in my body, and what feels very contracting. So I think that was a huge game changer, because then I was able to see what was designed, what was meant for me, what opportunities were actually meant for me, and what opportunities that I was actually reaching for and forcing, which then would create more resistance and more obstacles and stickiness in my life. The more I surrendered to my strategy and authority, or like my human design energy, the more freedom I felt to just kind of go with the flow of what happened in my external.
So Reiki essentially helps to align all of the energy within your body. So I'm working with the 7 chakras within the body, and I'm helping to remove any blockages and ensure that there's an even flow of energy moving through. Because if there's any stagnant energy or any blocks, anything that's moving slower or faster than what it should be, it throws everything out of whack. And everything starts on an energetic level. So if your energy isn't flowing properly, then that starts to manifest into physical symptoms, which is then when we experience anything in the physical, like a cold or a broken arm. It all starts in our energetic body. So for me, Reiki has allowed me to become more aware of my own energy and deal with things on an energetic level before they've even had the chance to manifest to the physical.
And it's interesting to see how even human design and Reiki like interlace like that, because it is just using the energy, our like unique energy type in our energetic body, to heal and move through life with as minimal resistance, stuckness, or low expressed patterns in life. Like, it's just allowing us to use the guide within ourselves to be able to move through life with ease and with as little pain and resistance as possible, which I think is a big breakthrough, really.
Absolutely. And I was just going to say, I think with these modalities, like, of course there's going to be things come up. As you say, there's going to be roadblocks. There's going to be things that come up because we're humans. We're here to experience. We came to Earth to experience all the things. You're not just going to be happy all the time. You're not just going to experience love and light all of the time. That's unrealistic. Like, we're here to experience a full spectrum of emotions, but it's the tools that you have to then deal with how you move through every single expression of the human experience. That then allows you to feel that ease even when you're uncomfortable, even when you're moving through, say, less desirable experiences. You become the passenger rather than the driver. So we're moving away from trying to heal with the mind, which is what we've been conditioned to be doing all along, and healing ourselves through what's the most natural to us energetically. Which I think is just, that's our magnetic monopole. It's what like drives us in the, you know, we just become the passenger of life, which I think is pretty amazing. I love that. Yeah.
So as a Reiki healer, what has your experience been like with working with the modality?
Well, before I was a Reiki healer, I received Reiki healings from others, and I didn't really understand how I could feel one way walking into the session and feel like a completely different person walking out of the session, because it helps you clear so much resistance without you having to really do anything. Because we're doing it on an energetic level, it just happens very easily, because once you clear the energetic, there's nothing to think about, there's nothing to do in the physical. So that really started to pique my interest, and working with energy as a yoga teacher as well, I decided that I wanted to do some more training on this. So I went and did my Reiki training, and then now I haven't stopped. I've just continued to do trainings and trainings. And I think one of the biggest ways that I see this manifesting in my life, like this work, is on an average day, if I feel like something is off energetically and I start to dive into it a little bit more, then I can kind of pick up on what's wrong now, because I'm aware of my energy centers, and I'm aware of when something feels contracted and it feels blocked, or I'm aware of something is kind of like not right within me. And then just by diving into that, I can then discern what it is and then heal it on the energetic level before it even becomes an issue or a bigger issue to where it's manifesting in the physical. My mum was kind of annoyed recently because she was sick, and I was like, oh, as soon as I get a sore throat, I'm just like, why is my throat sore? Like, what am I not speaking my truth about? Like, what is it that my throat chakra is contracted? And then as soon as I deal with that on an energetic level, 9 times out of 10, the sore throat will go away. And she's like, oh, well, just heal your sore throat. Like, I'm sure that's a thing, but it is. Yeah. It's a thing. I've dealt with so many things on the energetic level when I've started to feel physical symptoms, and it literally goes away.
Yeah, and it's amazing when you start to, like, view your parts of your body, not as parts of your body, but just, like, the energetic centers itself. It's like, oh, my G center is feeling a bit off. My identity center is a bit off. Like, well, who am I trying to be right now? Where am I trying to go? And it's just like, it's part of your heart, but I'm not seeing it as like my heart or my chest. It's like something inside that energy center feels like, I don't know, like it's manifesting in the physical, like something feels off or something feels expansive, contractive, pulling you in a certain direction. It's really interesting when you start to connect that.
Exactly. And these things are so real. Yeah. And I know that people are like, but what's the science behind it? There was a study, I couldn't tell you who did this study, but I've heard from several people about this. And it's that when you have a broken heart, like you have a relationship breakup or something, Panadol literally helps. Like it helps ease like that heartbreak pain. Yeah. How could Panadol heal something that's not physical? Yeah. Unless all of these things like do manifest into the physical. 100%. So I think that's been a really big eye-opener for me, is having this wisdom of my energetic body and being able to heal myself on this level and deal with the things on the energetic level before anything else. And then the ease that this has brought to my life, and the ease that this is also bringing to so many others' lives. Yeah. Whenever I do a healing and we clear those limiting beliefs or something that's just like not sitting right with them. Yeah. And then afterwards they're like, it's completely gone. I feel so good. Yeah. And that's the best feeling, to see someone just so uplifted. Yeah. And free. I remember you like doing Reiki on me, and that was the second time I've ever had a Reiki session. But I was sitting with something that was really painful and really like shameful within my body for so long, and we spent quite a bit of time on this particular situation that I had been carrying for so long. And by the end of the Reiki session, it was almost as if
saw that physical manifestation just kind of leave like over the ocean. I think I described it as like almost like leaving over the ocean and sort of disappearing. And it's not that it's, when I came out, when you brought me sort of back down to earth, my relationship to that event or that thing that I was carrying around in my emotional, it wasn't that it had completely disappeared, but for me, it was like my relationship to it had completely changed. So it was like, I can still see it, but I can sort of hold the space for it emotionally without it like being detrimental to my soul, like without it being painful in the body, without it like just taking over my mind. It was like, I see it as the observer and my relationship to it is completely changed. Totally. And I think that was just invaluable, if that's the right word for it. I'm like, I couldn't believe it. Something that I feel like I meditated about so much, like, you know, I try to do all these things myself, but with that support, like you say, it's giving us the power to heal on our own, but you hold that space for us when we work with the energetics. And it was just, it just really saved a part of me, I think. Like, it was massive.
Totally.
So that was groundbreaking.
And it's like what you say, you still see the event, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not out here wiping memories.
Yeah.
We're not making,
like Men in Black.
We're not making it go away. Yeah, the little blip. No, we're not wiping memories. The event is still there, but we're taking away the emotional charge. Mm-hmm. So we're processing whatever emotions came up for you from that trigger, from that event, from that situation, mm-hmm. whatever it was, and we're neutralizing it.
Yeah.
So you're not carrying around these feelings of guilt and shame and resentment and all of those lower vibrational energies that then start to manifest as disease in the body.
Absolutely.
Because disease is literally dis-ease within your body. Mm-hmm. And when we are carrying around all of those things, we start to feel really heavy, I guess. Mm-hmm. And so every single time that we neutralize these parts of ourselves, we feel a little bit lighter.
So speaking of higher vibrations, the whole idea of, you know, healing ourselves on an energetic level or embodying the energies that are unique to us as individuals, the ultimate goal for both of these modalities in our lives is to raise the frequency of humanity as a whole. Yeah. So I feel like that's the power with many, but in particular human design and Reiki. Like, the world is changing and it's evolving, and all of us are mutating on an energetic level. And in order to heal the craziness that's kind of going on or happening around us, not heal it, but in order to uplift it, we have a responsibility to ourselves and each other to raise our own vibrational frequency. Because in human design, we always talk about the thread of the tapestry as a whole. Each one of us is uniquely imprinted with an energetic blueprint that is unique to us. And although each one of us are uniquely wired to function in life, that contributes to the health of humanity on an energetic level as a whole. And that's what's going to allow us to ascend. So when we're pairing that with the modality of Reiki and yoga, pranayama, meditation, that is where we can make a massive impact in not that, you know, in a short amount of time relatively to, you know, humanity. Like, all of, you know, we're really fortunate to be initiated into these systems, into these areas of energy, of human nature, of healing, because this is, in a world that what we're experiencing in the world today, this is important stuff, I feel. And it's our responsibility to at least explore it. Whether you take it with a grain of salt or you take it, what we don't want is for anyone to walk away with thinking that all of what we share is dogmatic. It's an experience, but if you open yourself up to at least explore the offerings, you'll experience massive shifts in your life, and you'll be surrounded with more people who share this like similar goals and interests. And yeah, I'm very fortunate that all of this stuff, human design brought me Tash, human design brought me so many amazing people and opportunities in my life. My sister, my soul sister was the one who introduced human design to me, and, you know, passing it on to people who are vibrationally a match for you. Like, that's where massive change can happen. I'm really grateful for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with everything that you've just said. And I think a big part of, as you say, like the mutation, I would call it the ascension.
Yeah, I love it.
This is the thing, like it's the same, but different texture once more. But Chloe and I say the same things, but in different lingo, which I think that's cool, right?
Yeah.
Because as she said, this is not dogmatic. We're not telling you this is what to do, this is how to think, this is how to move forward. We're just giving you like all of these different ideas to explore, and maybe allowing yourself to open up to experiencing life in a different way to what you have been experiencing it previously.
With this offering, this retreat that's happening, we're putting all that together. What we want is to work alongside you as we all evolve and we all ascend or aim for ascension, even if it's in the smallest way in your life. Like, ascension doesn't have to be this big, like, esoteric experience. It can be in just being able to breathe a little bit lighter in your life.
Totally.
And using these impactful modalities such as human design, Reiki, yoga, pranayama, meditation, bringing it all together so that we can anchor into love and anchor into the inner guide that's already within us that leads us back to healing, a life of
back to ourselves.
Softness, a life of contentment. Content?
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure that you subscribe, and if you are interested in human design or Reiki, there will be information down in the description below of how you can work with either myself or Chloe, and especially the link to our upcoming retreat in Byron Bay in February. So if you are wanting to join us, all of the details will be below. Otherwise, I hope you have a beautiful day. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Bye.